Hello. I have something quite deep that I want to talk about today. It's deep for me. It's quite vulnerable. It's a little bit scary, but I feel that it needs to be said. I did a post about love language on my Facebook page yesterday, and I kind of said that my love language was, for me, jokingly, I said that my love language was, going to Pilates, doing a Pilates class, because I've recently discovered Pilates again, from a different place. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I'm seeing my body change in ways I've never seen before. And that's kind of what brought up this topic. So I jokingly said my love language Pilates class is coffee and peanut butter because I will literally sit and eat the peanut butter out of a jar, and coffee is just my thing. I have to have a proper barista made coffee every single day. It's like it's my thing. And I know it's quite luxurious, and I know it's a bit I feel extremely grateful that I'm able to go and buy myself a coffee every single day without fail. And even when I've been doing, it's so silly. It's even when I, because obviously I'm in England, from England, but I live in New Zealand. And so, the days of travel, those days when we are actually allowed to get on a plane. Oh my God, what are those days? Please bring them back, because I'm desperate to get on a plane and go see my family. Anyway, even in those days of long haul travel, when I would go home, I'd be sat on my plane, I'd be breaking down the journey. Right, I've got 2 hours before, and I've got 2 hours for this, and I've got 2 hours for, and then I actually get to do my my stopover, and in my stopover I can go to Costa's and I can get myself a coffee. Seriously, sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But that's the way my mind works. And I was thinking about love languages, and it got me thinking about self-love, and it got me thinking about the things that we do for ourselves and the things that we don't do for ourselves. And I started to really look at my life, and if you'd have looked at my life today, and if you'd have looked at my life 15 years ago, they'd look pretty similar. You would still have seen me eating well. You would see me choosing salads over chips. You would see me exercising daily. You would see me going to get my hair done. You would see me, trying to get a good amount of sleep. All of those things. You would see me not drinking alcohol. And side by side, my life looked very, very similar. But the difference internally, the difference from a place of love and acceptance and growth and love language, all of those things could not be more different. And it prompted me to come on and talk today about self-love. And what it actually is and what it actually looks like. Because back then, 15 years ago, I would eat healthily. But that was restrictive. It wasn't because it was what I wanted to do from a place of love. It was because I felt I had to do it from a place of hatred. Quite... really, that's what it was. I would exercise. You might see me doing that today. I could be moving my body in some way, having a weights class, or taking doing Pilates at home with my Fit On app. I do that today because I love it, and because I enjoy it, and because it exhilarates me. I did it back then because I felt I had to. Because I felt that I would never be perfect or thin enough or fit enough or toned enough or any other kind of enough. And it was from a complete lack of love. It was from an absolute place of hatred. And I get my hair done. Another thing that I really enjoy doing, I like having my hair done. I have always said I will never be one of those women that ages gracefully. I will never have the grey hair. I will never do all of that. I mean, I was talking to my hairdresser the last time I had my hair done, and we sort of talked about getting it cut. And I went, no, I don't want to, because I haven't got much longer. I haven't got much longer where I can have this length of hair and actually be okay and actually feel like I don't, I'm not trying to have the I don't know, it's silly, isn't it? I feel as though old women can't have long hair. Why? What the hell? Where does that come from? But it's like, anyway, I had my hair done, went off on tangent. I had my hair done, and it was like, I do it today. I do it these days because it makes me feel good, and because I love it, and because I don't want to have grey hair, because that's not me. Whereas back in the day, 15 years ago, I would have had my hair done to look a certain way. It wasn't about the feeling, it was about what it looked like. What image was it? Like, I remember I haven't done it, I've only ever done it once, but I had my eyebrows tattooed about, probably 7 or 8 years ago, but I didn't tell anybody, and I actually had them done and then covered them up with makeup because I was worried about the image that I was portraying to the world. What did that say about me? The fact that I felt I was vain enough to go and that I needed to go and have my eyebrows tattooed. You know what? If I had my eyebrows tattooed today, it would be because it would be making my life easier, because I don't have to draw them on every morning. Like, seriously, I would be doing it from a place of love for myself, of self-love, of total acceptance, of it making my life easier and actually doing it for me, as opposed to doing it because I felt I had to have nice eyebrows to actually be okay in the world, to fit in, to be accepted in some way. And so today, when you see me eating salads, when you see me choosing something healthy off the menu as opposed to going for the fries, I'm not doing that because I'm scared of the amount of calories that I'm putting inside my body. Although, if I'm totally honest, I still have those feelings. I don't think those feelings will ever go away completely, because it's a part of me, it's a part of my history, it's a part of my journey, it's been a massive part of my growth, and I am still the girl who had the eating disorder. That is who I am. And I think it's one of those things that's like addiction, right? You'll hear people who have been addicted to alcohol saying that they will always be an alcoholic, or drug addicts saying they will always be a drug addict, because if they let themselves go down that road again, it that's the personality, right? That's part of us, and so that's what we do. And I think I will always be that girl who has the restrictive eating patterns and who exercises. But these days, I'm not doing it from a place of absolutely hating my body, from absolutely hating myself with such a passion that it fueled my entire day, that I literally counted every single calorie. I panicked if I ate something bad that I perceived to be bad. If I had the piece of cake, like, again, it was Mother's Day not long ago, and you will have seen on my social medias that I had a piece of carrot cake because I love carrot cake, right? It's my absolute favourite dessert in the world ever. And so I went out and I thoroughly enjoyed my piece of carrot cake, and it came from a place of love. like total love, because I wanted to do it. It made me feel good and it tasted amazing. If I'd have done that back in the day, I remember the only days I allowed myself to have cake was Christmas or my birthday. Like, seriously, that was it. And even then, I would have the piece of cake and then I would go and do an exercise class for 3 hours to get rid of it because I felt so guilty that I'd eaten it. And so I wanted to just point out that sometimes you can look as though you have complete self-love for yourself. You can look as if you're eating the right foods. You can look as if you're exercising and being healthy. You can look as though you're taking care of yourself by having your hair done and having your eyebrows done and having your nails done. But that can be so very different from one person to the next. One person can do those things because they love how it makes them feel. They love what it does for them. They are totally blissed out by the feeling of taking a Pilates class or having their nails done, whereas somebody else can be doing those very same actions, but it's from a place of such deep hatred and total lack of self-acceptance and self-love. But on the outside, to the people looking in, it looks the same. It looks exactly the same. Going back to the Pilates, my love language, it was something that started in lockdown. For me, I got back into exercise. I'd let that side of myself go because I do have an addictive personality. I recognise that in myself, and I'm kind of an all or nothing type of person. And so when I exercise a lot, like back in the day when I exercised a lot, it was totally out of control because I would literally feel I had to do it. It was a have to, rather than a want to. It was a means to an end. It was a means to restrict calories, to keep my body burning, keep my metabolism high, and to actually make myself feel like I'd been okay. All total lack of self-love. The acts may be the same as today, but they were coming from such a place of hate rather than love. And so from I would do the Pilates class, but I'd never feel like I was pushing my body enough. I'd do the yoga sun salutation in the morning, but I'd never feel like it was enough. And so aside from that, I'd get on the treadmill and I'd push myself to do, however many to burn however many calories, or to do however many Ks I felt I had to do, or to run for however many minutes I felt I had to run for, to be okay in my head. Whereas these days, I've always enjoyed yoga. It's always been something that I've done, aside from the pushing exercise, the strenuous stuff that made me feel like I was burning the calories. Yoga was just something else. But then I got back into Pilates again, literally the last few months, and I literally have loved it. Like, I have loved it. It makes me feel incredible. I'm not pushing myself to the point that I used to get to running on the treadmill every day. It exhilarates me. It makes me feel alive. And you know what? The difference in my body has been incredible. I have literally never been as toned as I am now. I may not be as thin as I was back then, but you know what? It's not about that for me anymore. It's about how I feel. It's about how I feel I look and how healthy I perceive myself to be in my body and how much I love that. I've actually got, when you do, like, I used to do thousands and thousands of sit-ups a week, and I'd still have the flab here. Now I do a Pilates class every day. I do a few hundreds, and I've got that, you get that like definedness in your abs. Well, I've got it, but I've got it from doing something that makes me feel amazing, not from something that I was doing to punish myself. And so I just wanted you all to think about that. I wanted you all to think about, where are you doing things for yourself that come from an act of love as opposed to an act of shame? That contrast, my life looks the same. I'm doing the same things, but I'm doing them for such totally different reasons. And the feelings I get from them are so totally different. And now I might go for a run on the treadmill once a week, but that's because I choose to. Not because I feel that I have to, or I'm lacking something, or I'm not good enough, or there's some reason, physically, like eating reason, why I feel I have to get on there. And so there's such a difference. So I want you to just think about, where are you doing these acts of seeming love for yourself, but they're not coming from a place of love? Where are you pushing yourself from a place of contrast and hardness and lack, when you should be coming at it from a place of love? And it might look like self-love, but it's not. And so I just really wanted to talk about that. And I wanted you to question that with yourself. Just ask yourself, what are you doing in your life that you think is from a place of love, but actually it's not? It's actually from a place of no self-respect, or lack, or hate, even, like I was back in the day. And yeah, I want you to think about that. And it is deep, and it's very vulnerable to get that clear with yourself sometimes, and to realize where you are doing certain things that aren't from that place of self-respect, that they may be from that place of image, or what you want to portray, or what you feel you have to do or have to be like, as opposed to what you actually love and want, and your love language. Getting it all the way back down to the Pilates again. That was what I wanted to say today. That's my message. That don't judge a book by its cover. I guess don't look at somebody and think that they have lots of self-love and that they're doing all of these things because they're so healthy and they're so this and they're so that, because it could be coming from a complete and utter lack of self-respect, as it was for me back in the day. So yeah, I told you it was deep, but that's my message for today. And it was one that I think I was pondering on, and I wanted to share because I actually think it's really important. It can be from a distorted point of view as opposed to a love point of view. So ponder that question with yourselves this week, and just look at where you can treat yourself a little bit more kindly, where you can come at things from a different perspective maybe in your life. I guess listen to your body a little bit more, listen to your inner thoughts, your inner dialogue, and try and come at things from a place of self-love as opposed to a place of, for me, definite lack of self-love.